John with Mojave Trails here. It's been about 3 weeks since I purchased this Gladiator Mojave 2020. And man, I love this thing more today than I did when I first picked it up. Today I'd like to just take a few minutes to walk around the vehicle and give you my top 10 things that I really like about the Mojave and 3 things that I think could maybe be changed. So let's start with number 10 in the back of the cabin. So even though this is only a mid-sized pickup truck, there's still a ton of room in the back here. And I absolutely love it. My son is 6.5 feet tall, and he rides back here. He says he's got plenty of room. Sure, his knees are hidden here, but it's bigger than the SUV that we currently have. And my wife and daughter ride back in there, and they have a ton of room, and they just love it. My wife actually prefers to ride in the back over the front. She says these seats and the angle at which they're sitting is so comfortable. Also, the other thing I like is that you have plenty of USB chargers in the back. You got 4 USBs and you got the laptop, so you can plug a laptop in. Whenever we're on long trips, it seems like nobody's got enough, chargers. Their phones are never charged, and so everybody's fighting for the charging cord. Here, everybody can bring their own, and we got plenty of room. Okay, number 9 has to be the interior of the Mojave. I love this black interior with the orange accents and the orange Mojave on the seat. I love this metallic. It's kind of got a metallic fleck finish to it, and it really, really looks sharp. Number 8 for me, and we're going to jump inside and then I'm going to start this thing up. Number 8. I absolutely love the Apple CarPlay on this. When I bought this one, I wanted the 8.5-inch display with the navigation system, and they didn't have any in stock. The only Mojave I could find, and with all the stuff, other things I wanted on it, didn't have it. But it did have Apple CarPlay, and so far I don't miss it. I mean, I'd like a little larger display, but the navigation on here is fine. All my routes, my Gaia app, and everything is on my phone anyways, and to be able to display it right here on the screen is really, really nice. Number 7 is the off-road controls right here in the center. I love the pitch and the roll, and also you got your drivetrain view if you forget whether you got your rut lockers on or what mode you're in. It's kind of nice to be able to have it right here and look at it on display, and still keep your eyes on the trail. Okay, number 6, we'll walk around to the back of the vehicle. I got this because I wanted a truck over, say, the JL, JK, and I wanted the utilitarianness of the truck. And I love this pickup truck. I love the fact that it has the spray and bed liner. I use this thing all the time, and with the tonneau cover on here, with this feature to be able to put the bed in this mode, I can put my 2x4s, my plywood, whatever I need back there. It rides nice and level, and I don't have any issues with it. And that's a really, really nice feature. All right, number 5 for me is got to be the 3.6 Pentastar V6 engine with the 8-speed automatic transmission. If you've ever driven the old Jeeps with that inline 6 that they had forever, your Wranglers, you always felt underpowered. Took you forever to pass somebody on the road if you put a lift in and bigger tires. Even after re-gearing, it was just didn't seem to have enough power. But that's not the case with this engine for me anyways. I know some people complain they would like it a little bit bigger, but for me this setup works really, really well. I got plenty of power on the road, off-road, and with the 33s and even the 35-inch tires I could put on this thing without even having to re-gear, and it's fantastic. Okay, number 4 for me is the off-road capabilities of the Jeep. I mean, after all, I bought a Wrangler because I want to take it off-roading, I want to take it overlanding and on trails, I want to take it hunting, and here in Wisconsin we get a lot of mud and snow and rain, dirt roads, muddy roads, and the way that this thing is set up with the rear locker and the front virtual locker, the bigger 33-inch tires with these all-terrain tires, Vulcan tires, this thing will be able to take me anywhere that I want to go. And with the exception of doing, you know, really large boulders or rock crawling where you get really large rocks you got to get over, the way that this thing is set up is perfect. 3 for me is this is the Mojave, and it has to be the suspension. The way that they have this thing tuned, this thing rides so nice on the road for me, even though it's a Wrangler, and it also rides so nice off the road. I mean, with the Fox 2.5-inch dual bypass Fox shocks in the front, and the Jones bumper on the front, this thing is really set up to go fast off-road. And a lot of our trails where we go hunting and stuff, it's a long ways back to where we go, and it's over kind of terrain much like this, so you want something where you can go fast, you can absorb all those bumps and bounces, and this thing lets me do it, and it just works so fantastic. Number 2 for me, I mean, it's just the looks and the appearance of this thing. The Mojave, this front hood that they have on here, I think is the nicest looking stock hood that Jeep has got. For me, the color, I love the goby color. Just the trim and the way that this thing sits, the stance, nice and tall, even from the factory. And the fact that I can put 35-inch tires when these are done on there is just fantastic. And number 1, I mean, is just the experience of a Jeep. You know, I bought a pickup truck, but I wanted a Wrangler, and you want that Jeep feel where you're sitting up nice and high, you're looking up over that short stubby hood, and you know, you take the top off, you take the doors off, you pull the windshield down. Any of those things is epic, and when you do all of them, it's better than any roller coaster or any ride there is. So those are my top 10 things that I really like about my Mojave. And the 3 things that I don't really care for. Number 3 is the ESS system, the electronic shut-off system. You know, since I've got it, I've tried to track the different mileages with it on, with it off. I really can't tell any difference. I don't know whether it works. And it's kind of a pain. I just feel like it's going to burn out your starter a little bit faster. I've read where people have had problems with the system. And because with that whole system and the auxiliary battery, if your auxiliary battery dies when you're out on the trail, you can't start it. Even if you got full power in the main battery, if the auxiliary battery goes down, you're not going to be able to start it. And for them to design something that would potentially leave you stranded on a trail, I think is kind of a flaw. Number 2 thing for me, and it's a minor thing, is I don't really like the location of where the window controls are, and I get why they're there, but at least they could put like an LED on it at nighttime when you're running and start. It's sometimes hard to find the right one, so just maybe a little LED on the control would be nice. And the number 1 thing I don't like about this Mojave is right here, this plastic bumper. I mean, it looks nice, and I love the orange accents here, but you know, for $55,000-$60,000, I think you could have got the steel bumper, or at least an aluminum bumper, something a little bit better than a plastic bumper. So there you go, guys. There's my real quick walk around and the 10 things I really like and 3 things I don't.